Sanbanani guys, welcome back to yet another video, and we are speaking about the latest episode of Queendom. So you guys, this episode opens up with Undlovukazi and Ebo. It looks like they are about to have some lunch. They are sitting at the dinner table where the cutlery is set and everything, and Utalutono is basically updating the queen about what the doctor said. So Dadokolo is telling Undlovukazi, and he goes on to say Ndlovukazi yamanzi udokotela umzobe uthe ungaba ngcono siqhubeke simnike inkosi ukudla okuthambileyo. Basically saying that the doctor said that we need to continue to give Ubanzi soft food. Undlovukazi uMandlovu goes on to respond, oh hayi ke kwakuhle lokho, kwakusho ukuzwa lokho. Abamnikeze ke, they must give him sour porridge because Ubanzi loves sour porridge. So Dadokolo goes on to say, oh siyabonga. While Dadokolo is going out, he's going out to the balcony ungaphandle, uKamahlangu walks in furious, you guys. Ephefumlela phezulu. She's like, nikhohlakele nina. Amahlangu goes on to say, ukhohlakele, looking at Ebo straight in the eye while pointing at Ebo in his face. Basically saying ukuthi usubulala umfazi manje. uMandlovu's like, like idrama engaka before we eat uthini Amahlangu. Amahlangu goes on to say ukuthi ubulela umfakazi wena Ebo. So Dadokolo is outside, but you can see Dadokolo's reaction that he's shocked from outside, but he doesn't want to come and get izinto. He's just standing from outside and observing, but you can see his facial expression. Ebo goes on to look at Amahlangu, looking confused by the way, and he's like, ukhuluma ngani manje? Amahlangu goes on to say, musu zenza islima wena, as if awazi ukuthi ngikhuluma ngani. Amahlangu continues, wabulala umkhuseli wena, now manje sowubulala umuntu owokugcina who basically knows about what happened. But goes on to say, awu kahle, like how could you accuse me ngesenzo esibi kangaka Kamahlangu? Kamahlangu goes on to look at uMandlovu ke. Looks at uMandlovu and is like, nihlangene ngalento, angithi nihlangene ngalento. Kamahlangu goes on to say ukuthi uyazi ukuthi le ngane yakho yenzeni, you know very well nihlangene kulento. Now guys, remember Amahlangu, she's coming from, remember the last time she was out, she was speaking with Usfiso and Usfiso got shot in front of her. So she's coming right from that scene of whatever happened and right into the house and approaching them. And yeah, that's basically where the emotions and the anger is basically coming from. Mandlovu goes on to answer Kamahlangu and she's like, where Kamahlangu? Don't you dare accuse me ngento engingayazi, like don't you dare. Amahlangu goes on to say ukuthi angikusoli, like I'm not accusing you Mandlovu, wena ofundisele ngane ubukhohlakali, wena ofundisele ngane uba usathane. Yeah. Kamahlangu was angry because guys, the thing is, this is the first time she finally received confirmation that all of this time the accusation she had, that it was not all in her mind, she was not crazy. Kamahlangu goes on to say ukuthi usathana uqobo lwakhe le ngane yakho uzele isilwane nje sakho, like guys, she was just going on with it, like Satane and isilwane and whatnot. So while she's busy saying that, Dadokolo decides to walk in because you can see it's getting out of hand. Dadokolo walks in. And Kamahlangu at this point, she is screaming at Mandlovu and she's basically saying, Mfukamele Mandlovu, mfukamele lo satana wako, mfukamele, basically like nurture him, like protect him, continue to protect him because you know what Ebo is capable of and you're acting like na ngiyasangana, but you know very well. Dadokolo's like, sowanele, nokuthula, sowanele, and uNokuthula that time she's like, mfukamele no satana wako, mfukamele Mandlovu, Mandlovu just keeps quiet. That time when uDaluxolo walked in, guys, when he said Sokwanele nokuthula, he was taking her out of the room and then they walked out. Ay, usokusela uMahla, usokusela uMandlovu nomcebo-ke, and they're looking at one another, and uMandlovu just says, Nokuthula. Umcebo goes on to say, hey, nam ngiyaqala ukulizwa lelo. I laughed at that point because I'm just like, out of all the drama, the only thing they choose to, or the only thing, out of everything uKamahlangu said, the only thing uMandlovu feels like is worth commenting on is the name Unokuthula that Daluxolo called her by. I'm just like, these ones. Anyway, guys, we see then uMandlovu. After a while, uMandlovu, she looks at Ebo and she's looking at him with these eyes. Ukuthi, so wenzeni manje? Like, what have you done? Because you know what? uKamahlangu did not lie. uMandlovu knows very well what her son is capable of. So uMandlovu goes on to say ukuthi iqiniso lento ekhulunywa uKamahlangu umbulela uSifiso. Umcebo goes on to say ukuthi beyingekho enye indlela mama wahlangana noMahlangu, meaning that uSifiso wahlangana noMahlangu to tell her the truth. So bekudingeka, like, I needed to do this. uMandlovu goes on to say ngiyakuzwa mfana wami, and that time ukhulumela phansi. You know, when ingane yenze into wrong and you don't want to make it a big deal, you're trying to comfort the child. Like that's the vibes it's giving, as if but just, I don't know, he just said no ukuthi angifuni ukuya esitolo, angifuni ukuya, I don't want to buy something. Like, she's treating it as if it's that light type of thing. So uMandlovu was like ngiyakuzwa mfana wami ukuthi ubulungisa izinto, but she goes on to say that it was reckless for you to do it phambi kwakaMahlangu because they killed. Basically umcebo ordered for uSifiso to be killed in front of kaMahlangu. So umcebo goes on to say ukuthi isikhathi ma, time was running out, bekumele ngiphuthume. uMandlovu goes on to respond ukuthi, is there anything else I need to know? Abukho ubufakazi obungakufaka ebungozini. Umcebo says ta, but you can see his eyes are teary ukuthi uthukile nyana, but his mother is there to kind of like say ingane yami ungathuki, we here now and we're going to figure out a way. Mandlovu goes on to say ukuthi you need to be certain mfana wami, emiseka ukuthi awukho ubufakazi that's going to implicate you. Umcebo says, I will do that, ngizokwenza njalo ma, and he walks out leaving his mother there. Then we see uMulapo sisetakane, guys. uMulapo just woke up. uNtando is giving him a glass of water. uMulapo is touching he's drinking the water, he's touching his neck. You can see ukuthi, guys, he's in pain. I'm just like, is Thabang that strong that, like, Apella, you can see ukuthi uMulapo, guys, well built, tall, in. I'm like, is Thabang that strong that he put down uMulapo like that? Anyway, Uketi was like, uzizwa kanjani? uMulapo was like, it's sharp. He's saying it's sharp, but he's holding his head, he's feeling his head, he's like making sounds. I'm like, awukho sharp. Thabang really laid his hands, like Thabang looks like he was out to kill uMulapo. So Uketi goes on to say, lalela ke, wena owasebukhosini, you are from royalty and awufani nabanye abantu. So in times like this, makune conflict, you need to maintain your composure nesithunzi sakho. So please, bengicela ukuthi ungakhohlwa lokho, don't forget that siyazwana. Because remember, uMulapo insulted uThabang. And that's why Thabang basically strangled uMulapo. I do think uMulapo he did maintain his composure. Yeah, because Thabang was being disrespectful. So Ketty was basically saying, Gabe, like Mulapo, you were not supposed to say that thing. Mulapo said something like, you know, a dirty tongue speaks about the person, which like umuntu onjani, the one who's speaking those words, it speaks about them. So I don't see anything wrong like that because Thabang has been disrespectful. But anyway, Uketi was like, you are not like other people, so you must always remember your reputation. So you rather uthi ube sisituphethu than put your reputation on the line. So Munapo goes on to respond, Atika Leboha, thank you for your wisdom, your wise words. Then Mulapo goes on, oh, Munapo's the one that's saying Leboha, thank you for the wise words. Then Umunapo tries to get up from his tuning like he wants to prepare to leave. Then Untando's like, no, Ngasugumi, don't get up because you're in pain. Because obviously Munapo, when he's getting up, he's like, like making those pains. I'm just like, Munapo, come on. But anyway, he's in pain, and I'm just like, you know what? Tabang just pushed Untando more into Mulapo's arms. I just feel so, because the way Untando was feeling sorry for Umulapo, the way Mtanta's, like the way she's been doing up and downs for Mulapo, I'm just like, Tabang, yeah, you just shot yourself in the foot. And then, guys, we see Ebo is in his room, and he's looking through his cameras that are installed around the house on his laptop to make sure Uguti Abu Kubu Falas. Remember, his mother said, make sure there's no evidence. So it looks like Umunapo placed cameras around the whole house, you guys. He's going through the footage of that camera to make sure that there's no proof or evidence that is going to implicate him in any way. So as he's about to close the laptop, because it's clear, everything was sharp. He is certain there's nothing here that's going to implicate him. He sees a shot where Utalong is coming out of Kamahlangu's room. And when he's coming out of Kamahlangu's room, he is buttoning his shirt, guys. Now, what is, like, if he was just coming out, that would be one thing. But why would you be buttoning out your shirt coming out of the queen's room, sir? So Ebo says, yeah, the cat's out the bag. Yeah, uzomela nichaze benenza nina. Yo, guys, ukamahlangu, I'm just like, it drama after drama. Ever since Banzi got sick, ukamahlangu, yo, I shame. Then we see Untando, a scene between Untando and Utabang, and Untando screaming at Utabang, saying, alrighty, like, kind of like, how could you strangle, like, how could Ukinye Umulapo, like, how, like, why would you do such a thing? Tabang goes on to say, he deserved it. Ngabe, I choked him till he died. Ah, boy, Tabang. Ntando's like, Ngabe, you choked him till he died. You don't mean that, Tabang. Tabang's like, I do mean you defending another man over me. Ntando's like, I don't know this, Tabang. I don't know this, Tabang. Tabang goes on to say, you think it's nice with this guy, eh? Then you want me tule and not say anything. I'm just like, yeah. Anyway, Untando goes on to say, you the one who strangled Tabang. You the one who's doing all of these things to yourself. Is this the life that you wanted me to live? Basically, they are at one another. Utabang is unapologetic. Untando leaves the conversation like that, and she's like, this is not the man I fell in love with, because the man that I fell in love with, he was kind, he was sweet, he was respectful. He would have not done what you did today. Utabang, guys, mina ngiyamsaba, because I'm like, the way he looks at Untando, you can see he's filled with so much love, but rage and anger, because Untando's not getting him, because there's a part where he does say, I also don't recognize this Untando. So guys, I hope Tabang doesn't do anything foolish to Untando. You know these South African stories where these boyfriends get jealous over their woman, and then they want to, they want to delete their woman. So I'm just hoping with Tabang, because Tabang at this point, he feels like the whole world is against him and everyone is for Umulap. Then, guys, we see Utalukalo, he is in his office when Ukamahlangu comes in, and Utalukalo says, oh, Kamahlangu, uzizunjani. So while he's talking like that, Ukamahlangu, she puts a paper on his desk. He takes the paper and he looks at the paper. Kamahlangu says, did you know about this? Talukalo says, nami ngithole incwadi efana nalena. Amahlangu says, are you saying ukuthi uMandlovu and the council have been watching us all along? Guys, the paper that Amahlangu puts on Utalotono's desk, it's basically a letter from the council summoning them to a hearing. That these are the accusations. The accusations is that Amahlangu and Utalukono are having an affair, and now obviously the way they do things at Kahlamba, you can't be charged in jail. Your case must be brought before the council, and that's basically what they they're summoned to do. So Tanung Ono uyacabanga laphayan, and it's like the council, they had a meeting without me. Bebebambe umhlangano ngingekho. And then he goes on to say, oh, so kuyacaca ke manje ngoba nangu uMahlangu, nangu uMandlovu. She is sending me to go and see a traditional affairs minister so that angisuse, basically. Kamahlangu, you can see she seems scared, and she's like, Talukholo, so wenzanjani? Talukholo goes on to say, ayibo, sizoyiphika. Uphi ubufakazi, like, these are just suspicions. Kamahlangu goes on to say, kodwa uyamazi uMandlovu noMcebo, they're going to crucify me ngoba bezama ukuzivikela, that they know that they are responsible for uNkoseli's murder. Talukholo goes on to say, kahle ke nawe Kamahlangu, the way you attacked them, Izolo, that was not smart. You could have consulted me before uphahlaze nje kanjalo. Kamahlangu was like, ngiphahlaze? Talukholo was like, yeah, but like you could have consulted me. Kamahlangu was like, do you think at that time I had time to be strategizing ukuthi ngize kuwe ngizoxoxa nawe what should be done? Whereas like I saw a man die before my eyes. Talukholo says, Kamahlangu, yes, you were supposed to come to me. Like, that was not a smart move. Kamahlangu goes on to say, I did what I needed to do. I did what I needed to do. And futhi cishe ngafa laphayana, like I almost died. So please, like, get off my case of telling me I shouldn't have done that. Maye, she walks off like that. Shubile, guys. So anyway, Talukholo goes ahead, he goes and visits Umcebo's room, and he's like, he's been looking for uMandlovu awutholakali. Umcebo goes on to say, I akekho uma. The queen is not here, she is busy with queen affairs. Talukholo's like, oh, when Umcebo, you playing with me, you toying with me. He goes on to tell Umcebo take back all those accusations because they are not true. Umcebo goes on to say, that is a decision that needs to be made by uMandlovu and the royal members in court. Mina anginawo ke amandla. So basically telling I was telling Talukholo ukuthi kumele uyozimela because there's nothing I'm gonna do. I know very well that it is Umcebo who submitted those claims based on the video that he saw. Because he knows ukuthi Talukholo and uMandlovu have evidence, not evidence, but they have something on him. Anyway, uNokhuzana, Talukholo goes on to say, I will not go to that filthy court. I will not pitch up because those are all lies. Umcebo goes on to remind him, like, the laws, zaseKhahlambu, you not being there, you deciding not to come and be absent, automatically would make you guilty, sir. So I think Kumbuzeke, if you are found guilty of these accusations, when Kamahlangu, you are going to be kicked out of royalty and kicked out of the whole Khahlamba. And mind you, that alone is a light sentence. But anything more, your tongue, Talukholo, will be cut out of your mouth. Yeah, guys, I was not even feeling for them. Next thing we see them, they are there, basemhlanganweni, guys. They are attending uKamahlangu Talukholo. They are attending, they are hearing. And uKamahlangu was like, mina ngiyasaba, usabi yini? uTalukholo was like, no, don't worry, like, we got one another. I'm like, this type of love. So anyway, one of the council members says, Silana, we are here to address very serious accusations between uKamahlangu no Talukholo that you guys are having an affair. And then he proceeds to ask them, uTalukholo, how do you plead? Talukholo says, not guilty. uKamahlangu says, not guilty. And then they just end the scene. We don't know what ends up happening. But I guess the next step would be that there must be proof. But at this point, I'm just like, who is everyone to have a say in this affair? Because Ubanzi knows about this affair. The only person who can save uKamahlangu at this point, guys, is Ubanzi. Only Ubanzi. Then next thing, guys, we see Tabang. Tabang is sitting at Chobozi's place, drinking himself or drinking a cold beer when there's two Sotho men who are standing outside and they're like, we alone. And the other one's like, hi, akusiyena. And then the other one's like, woo, yelona tisingene. Let's buy him cold beers just to loosen him up a little bit. They go in, the one sits down, and then the other one's like, Prince, how's the fame? Like, how do you deal with the fame? And how do you deal with the fame? And Utabang is busy, feeling on top of his game, thinking that these people are just here to ask him what it's like to be a prince. Kantilo Omunye West too, guys, is standing before him, at the back of him, and Tabang just feels a gun at his back. And the other one says, listen, I am inviting you to play manje uzozwangam. We are going to get up and we are going to leave together. You are not going to make any trauma, because if you make any trauma, you see this gun that's behind you, it's going to be over. So Tabang has no choice. He gets up, he leaves with these guys. I think it's connected to what he did to Umulapo. And I'm just like, Tabang, these things you put yourself into, like, stop, Lele, Impilo Yamatank, because Impilo Yamatank, guys, like, anyway. Lastly, we see Utalu Kolom. Oh, Kamahlangu, she's in her room and she's crying, you guys. She's looking at Umkuseli's picture and she's crying. When Talufolo comes in, and he's like, yo, I've been working tirelessly. I've been trying to get people to speak on our behalf on the council meeting, to be a witness for us. And Talufolo says, listen, I am not winning. No one wants to do anything with us, because Bati Basaba Uman Lovo and Basabam her son, Ebo. So basically, Utalupolo no Kamahlangu, guys, they are left alone because no one wants to be associated with them. They have no witness. They have no one who's going to stand for them. Kamahlangu has no one who's going to defend her and stand for them. Something like a lawyer. But remember, Bati, the laws there is that you're not allowed to bring the lawyers from outside. If Funumundagmele, it needs to be someone from royalty. Guys, Kamahlangu is crying there because she just realized which she's doomed. Guys, let's park it right there. Tell me what you think of this latest episode. Please do make sure you like the video. Please do subscribe. It is absolutely for free of charge. And I'll see you guys in the next one.